All right, what's going on, guys? So, I came to the coffee shop today because I was going to have a few meetings here, and one of them just wrapped up. It was actually pretty, it was pretty amazing. Excuse me, when you unpack using real, authentic conversations, and the best way that I can help my clients and the people that I work with when it comes to consulting, whether it's their brand, whether it's their business, whether it's marketing campaigns, whether it's paid ads, whether it's organic marketing, building a personal brand, is that they're upfront, open, and real with what their weaknesses are and also what their strengths are. Because if we understand those, it actually allows us to create a pathway to success way more faster versus putting on the mask and now we're creating this game plan without knowing the real you. And to be honest with you, some years ago, that was one of my issues. I wore a mask. Therefore, everything that I was doing wasn't materializing in the way that I thought it should, but it was because I wasn't being honest about my strengths and also my weaknesses. Therefore, the roadmap I had created was warped. It didn't make sense and it didn't work. Not until I realized that and started just really writing those things down and seeing those strengths every single day, seeing those weaknesses every single day, seeing those micro victories every day, and then just overall being able to see those new habits, created over that week, 30-day period, 60-day period, 90-day period. But this particular conversation was extremely great because I got Norm, Norman, but I call him Norm. He has a lot of great people in his network, very successful. And one of the things that I worked on many years ago when I went to a private mastermind, when I was like over 150 people worth over $100 million in the room, is that you can get excited as an entrepreneur, especially if you're not at that tier and you're building something as well. And whatever it is you're building, you may need a couple dollars for it. So if you're in the room with other people that have money, then obviously you want to talk about whatever it is your project is or your campaign or whatever, and you want to try to get money for whatever it is you wanted. But I thought about that process and said, how many other people are going to approach it that way if they go, or how many times do they get approached by someone wanting to extract their funds from them? And what creative ways could I present myself to still benefit, but not actually give them the same experience that they have all the time, if that makes sense. So, two parts of what I'm talking about right now is that creativity is everything. If you follow this guy by the name of Myron Golden, he talks about creativity and how creativity will actually give you abundance. It will actually get you a dollar. It would actually get you $100. It's basically the understanding of God or someone teaching you how to fish versus just giving you a fish. So you know the system, you know the territory, you know the customers. So if you know that, that means that you're not stuck versus someone just giving you some money. So when I was talking to Norm, he knows high network individuals, and when I say high net individuals, he's been knowing them since grade school. Like they're buddies. They hang out. They text. They do FaceTime. The families know each other. But Norm is doing fairly well for himself, but he has some other things that he wants to do, and he needs funding for it. But he also don't want to be boxed in or be like anyone else that's asking his friends that's worth $500 million for money. And so unpacking their relationship gave me a lot of insight. Unpacking the insecurities or the invisible barriers that he had helped me unpack, helped me to start develop a game plan and a perspective. And it also allowed me to profile his friend because he gave me a lot of great information in regards to their conversations, the temperament of it, how his friend has dealt with other people that's asked for money, people that he know or people that he doesn't know as well. But I was just able to really make a true assessment and come up with a game plan. And the game plan was this, and this just happened today. I didn't know anything about this conversation. I didn't know anything about his friend. Me and Norm just met each other 2 weeks ago. So Norm has a buddy that's worth over $500 million cash, liquid, right? And so I told him about this concept. that's been practiced many, many times. I said, listen, if you have a great relationship with this person, the best thing that you can do is tap into your creativeness to add value to them, or don't take from them, don't extract from their wealth, because once that starts happening, I believe it starts to erode the relationship. So I told him, I said, why don't you go to him, because I thought of a creative way on how he could probably make $10,000, let's say $10,000 a month, if his friend Timothy was willing to park $10 million in a certain account for 2 years. So that means for 2 years, my guy Norm will have extra cash flow and capital, 10 grand automatically every single month. And his friend Timothy still has his $10 million. It's just parked in a specific place that I explained to him. We got Timothy on the phone today. We spoke to Timothy for like 25, 30 minutes, going over everything. We hung up the phone. Timothy called back in 5 minutes with his attorney on the phone. And on that call, he told Norm that he's going to do it. Why is that? It's because there was no real risk in regards to the creativity we set up for him, the tool and the resource that we use. But he also wants to see his friend win, and he wants to be helpful. He also appreciated the fact that that Norm came to him in a very unorthodox way. Many people, no one has ever approached Timothy in this way. It's always about give me, give me, give me, I need, I need, I need, versus from our chat, we actually reached out to him and said, hey, we don't want, Norm doesn't want your money, but there is a way that you can help Norm. Would you help Norm if you could? And it didn't hurt, take away from your pockets. And he said, absolutely, tell me more. And that's how the conversation started. So there was a transaction and a wire that's happening right now for $10 million going to a financial resource where Norm is going to be able to get paid $10,000 every single month off the interest of that $10 million for 2 years. They can do it forever. He can do it forever. Timothy is not going to lose his money. Norm still gets the benefit of being able to use that capital to put into his projects and businesses and things that he's doing. See, that's creativity at its finest. That's creativity at its finest. And that is a lot of what I talk about on my podcast, the Majoration Podcast. So make sure to go and subscribe if you want to hear more stories, more opportunities, more creativeness, creative ideals, and consultation talks like this, doing recaps, sharing those with you. All right, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure to go and get your copy of Use Everybody. It's my brand new book. It's available right now in digital form. It's a great read. The first one did over 100,000 downloads. I believe this one is going to do even more. But it's a great framework going into, it's a great framework as we are in 2026 that's going to help you level up. And I believe that if you are someone who's really serious about making different changes, staying committed, being disciplined, being focused, getting more money, creating better habits, this is a great foundation for you to do that. Use Everybody. We took a negative connotation and made it positive. I'm Major Williams. Stay majorvated. See you guys on the next video.